from your perspective, how or why does community actually lock in for you like that long-term fitness or wellness commitment?
Um, I guess I need the push. I'm competitive, not to where I'm really feisty about it, but there's a competitive edge. Like I want to be first, whatever it is. If it's the rowers, I want to be first, no matter what it is. But if somebody beats me, that's fine. But they're going to have to earn that spot.
I
to beat
love
me.
that.
about Wanda.
You better send some snaps in the chat for Wanda.
But it's the encouragement. If I'm picking up some weights and I look over at Shanda and I go, oh, her and Joanne, like they're picking up heavier weights than me. It's like, fine, I'll do the heavier weights because they're looking at me like, what are you doing with those? And I've done that to other people too, to where I'm like, you're stronger than that. You don't need to be lifting those little weights. Pick up the bigger ones, and they do, and they're strong and capable.
Yeah.
And so I guess I like that push, that encouragement, and of course the coach, always her encouragement. And I've had her come up to me and just say, "Are you injured?" Which I love that fact that she makes sure you're not injured.
Yes.
And of course I say no, and she's like, "All right, the next round, a heavier weight." It's like, "Yes, ma'am."
Yes.
So,
Yes.
and she's right because she can see that I'm not doing as much as I could. She can see it, and she calls me out when she needs to, and I like that.
Yeah.
So,
Many of us don't necessarily like it, but it's what we need.
Yes.
It's what we need.
And
Because
the
she
coach
knows
is
I will
okay
quickly,
that you don't like it.
I will quickly roll my eyes. Yeah, Coach D, she knows. She knows I will roll my eyes. But it's what we need. It's what we need.
Yes.
And when we recognize it's what we need, Joanne, I know you're a mom, and there are so many moms that will take care of everybody else and feel guilty about creating that time for them. What do you say to that mom who's just like, well, I need to make sure everybody else is okay before I do this?
Well, I was that person. So, I made excuses for a long time. And then one day I had a friend who she was like, hey, there's this Groupon, 3 classes. Just go to these 3 classes. I was like, I don't want to. And she was like, come on, it's just 3. And then you don't ever have to go again. And it was 3 classes, and I still go to that studio 8 years later. And that it just comes from that community, right? Like I went there, I met the right people, and I built relationships that helped me want to be there. But going back to making time for myself, you have to do that. You have to figure out whether it's getting up at 5 a.m. and doing it before the kids get up while your husband's still asleep, or doing it the minute, hey, listen, I'm going to the gym at 5:30. I expect you to be here at 5 because I got to go. I mean, fortunately, my kids are older, so I just say, I'll see you guys later. But you have to find that balance that you can give your family and yourself, because if you don't take care of yourself, like Dee always says, I can. I'm if I'm not there, Dee's like, yeah, right? Because she knows I'm there no matter what. My house could be on fire. I'd be like, you guys got that? I gotta go.
I've gotta go. Have fire. So, Shanda, I know you mentioned legacy. Any of you, I want to throw it out there. So, because I hear that a lot as a coach and as a trainer, talking specifically with women around resilience and owning and knowing who you are and setting that priority. I hear it a lot. Like, well, I don't really know who I am because everyone else, I take care of everybody. That's who I am. But we're more than that. So in any other perspectives on the woman who's listening who is feeling guilty about creating this space and time?
That was actually life-changing for me. So there were a couple of different things at play when I finally decided to get myself together And I realized by being completely real with myself that if I continued the lifestyle that I was living, eating whatever and never exercising and always putting everybody ahead of myself, if I continued down that path, all of the things that I cared so much about, I may not be here to experience them anymore. So that kind of realization is what catapulted me into making time for myself. Now, you have to be strong and stand up for yourself, right? So sometimes it's just a matter of your family having to change their mindset as well. You need to understand that this is important to me. Because you love me, then I know that this is going to be important to you also, right? We have to learn how to stand up for ourselves. And I think sometimes that's what is missing. The last thing that I want to say is that I also think that oftentimes we claim the habits that we've picked up from our upbringing. I notice it a lot of times when I have a client who comes to me and maybe they're type 2 diabetic and they say, well, this runs in my family. Well, it actually doesn't. It's the habits that run in your family, right? So it's the things that we've picked up along the way that can create that for us as well. So if you don't come from a healthy family, you can create a healthy family. It can start with you, right? So I think that's just really important. Yeah.
I have to agree with her, like when she said about the support system, because I have the gym as my support also, but my husband and my kids, they were also a big part. And I was that person, still that person that everyone relies on.
We're working on it.
We're working on that. But my kids and my husband and Dee, they're like, it's okay to say no. And you don't got to give a reason to say no. It's okay for you, even if it's family. No, I don't explain yourself. Just say that no. And it's really helping me right now.
Yes, just say no.
Just say no.
And you don't have to give a reason.
Nope.
That's a whole t-shirt.
Okay.
It's a whole t-shirt.
I think what people don't realize is that once you put out there that you are making yourself a priority, then other people start to respect that and realize, oh, hold on one second. This is really important to her. Let me be supportive of this situation and help her reach her goals.